So joining us now, Republican Senator from Oklahoma, James Lankford. He is a member of the Senate Intel Committee and the Senate Homeland Security Committee as well. Sir, welcome. Good to have you with us today.
Thank you.
You know, Donald Trump has been talking since the beginning of the campaign about a better relationship with Russia and, you know, saying positive things overall about Vladimir Putin. We heard very different things yesterday from Mike Pompeo and also from General Mattis.
And I think we will continue to. Our relationship with Russia is really based on the old Reagan term of trust and verify. You remember during the Obama administration, they wanted to have the famous Russian reset to say we need to be able to re-engage with them. The Obama administration reached out to Iran, reached out to Cuba, obviously. And so it's not surprising for me to be able to see Trump reach out to Russia and say, this is not working well. The biggest issue that we face right now is the Obama administration is trying to negotiate with Russia from a position of weakness rather than from a position of strength. When we face Russia, we need to face them with a position of strength and to be able to say, we don't expect you to ever mess with us, and we want you to be able to leave us alone. We'll work with you when we can work with you, but otherwise, you need to leave us alone.
I got to ask you, as someone on the Intel Committee, what do you make of the schism that exists right now and the reporting that is out there that the CIA basically does not want to back anyone or anything that wants to enter into a more open dialogue with Russia? They see Russia as wanting to shore up Assad, build their relationship with Iran, and they think that's extremely dangerous. So they may be trying to undercut the president-elect if that's what he has in mind.
Well, number one, CIA is the greatest intel gathering agency in the world, bar none, not even close. There are tremendous men and women that are there that came out again when Mike Pompeo was going through his confirmation hearing yesterday. Mike will be a tremendous leader for the CIA and has great respect for that. Many of those individuals have strong opinions about what they see on the ground and what's happening. It was just this last summer that Russians were beating up American diplomats as they were returning back into our embassy overnight. So Russia has not treated us like an ally or like a friend, and they are not an ally or a friend. They are another nation. They have a fairly weak economy right now, but Putin is continuing to be able to push and say, we want to be a player on the world stage. And when the United States backed up out of Syria, out of the Middle East, Russia was glad to be able to fill in that vacuum.
So it sounds like you side with the CIA in this dispute that is apparent with Donald Trump. Do you think he's going to come around to your way of thinking and the CIA's way of thinking, if that's possible?
I do, and I think the more he sees the information, the more he engages, the more history that he has with them, the more that everyone will see that Putin is really a thug and a bully, and he wants to be able to push out the advancement of Russia around the world. I understand that. The problem is their way of thinking and their way of life and their values diminishes human life, diminishes free speech, diminishes freedom of faith. It violates all the basic principles that we have as America.
But so
Russia is not a co-equal.
He is arguing that opening the relationship, now we've seen past presidents argue this same thing, could potentially alter that or could put us, at least in some cases, on the same side. We heard Rex Tillerson saying, and he's had a lot of dealings with Russia, saying, sometimes your adversary can be your partner in certain ventures. Do you disagree?
No, I don't disagree with that. There are certain things that we should be able to work with Russia on, but I would say we're always hesitant to be able to engage with Russia, knowing Russia always has a secondary motive as well. But again, they're another nation out there. We should try to work with every single nation in every way that we can that benefits us and in ways that benefit us. But the key thing is, at this point, we should continue to be skeptical of someone who's a murderous thug like Putin is.
I want to play a little bit of Mike Pompeo, and I only have a little bit of time left, so we'll get your quick reaction to this on the other side. But let's play Mike Pompeo on the issue of enhanced interrogation techniques.
Would you comply?
Senator, absolutely not. Moreover, I can't imagine that I would be asked that by the president-elect or then president. But I'm very clear. I voted for the change that put the Army Field Manual in place as a member of Congress. I understand that law very, very quickly and am also deeply aware that any changes to that will come through Congress. I'll always comply with the law.
We heard the president-elect on the campaign trail say, look at what they're doing. They're drowning people in cages. They're burning people alive, and we're worried about waterboarding.
Yeah, so the real issue is what the law is right now, and I would expect that the CIA, that all of our entities, all of our military, and the President of the United States would honor the law on how we handle torture. The Army Field Manual has a very strict set of guidelines on how we do any kind of interrogation to be able to protect and to be able to uphold our American values. That is the law of the land, and we would anticipate that that would continue to be upheld.
All right. And
as Mike Pompeo said, who I think will be, by the way, a tremendous leader for the CIA.
All right. Thank you, sir. I just want to add in here before we go that Donald Trump has said with regard to the differences of opinion here that we're hearing in these hearings, that he wants them, these cabinet members, to be themselves and to express their own thoughts, not his. So that is worth laying down there as well today. Senator Lankford, thank you very much. Good to see you, sir.
Very good to see you as well.
Now we're learning the director of the FBI